Good morning, everyone, or you who have made it. Uh, my name is Björn Larsson, and I met a few of you like yesterday, and today I hope to give you the Zoom story. But first of all, I'd like to thank Innovation Pioneers for inviting me. It's really an honor for such a small company to be here and talking to you guys. But why am I here? Well, I'm the co-founder. The founders, I'm going to tell more about those. Those were the technical innovators. I'm the kind of business innovator. My background is, yes, you said it better than I did. It's been learning all the way. I have been working with new services and products my entire life, and I have been head of business development in a larger company, but I also been the CEO of an incubator. Maybe you heard that yesterday in the workshops. It was a Create Business Incubator owned by Västerås Science Park and Munktell Science Park. But in that incubator, there was a case, a business case, and it was called Zoomability. And they asked me to be their CEO, to lead the commercialization and finance process, financing up the company. And crazily enough, I did. And it is because it was such a good cause. I'm very driven of the values of things, so I thought it was a good thing, and I wanted to try to accomplish it. And I'm trying to, today, in 30 minutes, give you a short description of what we've went through, some of the challenges, because I've been asked by Darius to challenge you today, and I also heard that yesterday you had a feedback that you weren't interactive enough. So I'm going to interact with you, trying to try it. So challenge and interaction. But you are all pioneers, right? Yes. Yeah, because it's called Innovation Pioneers, so I thought maybe there's a pioneer in here. And I'm going to focus a little bit on that. And why not start with one of the only paper ads Zoomability ever had. This is a 2010 ad in a magazine for disabled people, and I don't know if you've read them, but this ad stood out. It was something else. And if you can't read Swedish, it says something like, we're looking for 35 pioneers who want to try out a revolutionary electric all-terrain four-wheeler. And it's called Zoom. So starting off there, interactive and challenging you, now Kim is not here, so I have to count myself. I would like to have 35 pioneers for this lecture. Okay, so you who feel that you really are a pioneer and wants to be part of being a pioneer in this lecture, please rise now. And come forward, take the seats up here, it's completely empty, which actually is a thing that happens a lot. So if you ever have a lecture, do this one, because people come forward, right? It's excellent. Very good. I have my pioneers. Thank you. First question. What is the characteristic, okay, let's say that. What is a pioneer? Give me some examples. Characteristica. Early adopter? No, Therese, where are you? Sat beside me. There, you're going to take notes, right? We shared the dinner, lovely dinner yesterday here. Can you now help me to take down that? Early adopter, and then more. Pathfinder. Taking risk. Yep. Courage? Yes. Can I say, oh yeah, courage, risk, bold, naive, believer, power, strength, yes. Okay, do things once. Yep. There's a lot of good things here. Seeing opportunities, free mind. Yep. It's one thing that I think I would like to hear. We heard, what's the story? Curious, very good. Asking questions, questioning is very good. And that's in the beginning, and in the end you need persistency. It's easy to forget. Persistently. Never give up. Okay. stubbornness, whatever. Now we have the words. That's what you are, you guys here. And you guys who didn't volunteer, don't think you're going to rest, because you're going to be my reflecting audience. So you have to think, what would I do if I got that answer sitting up there? You don't have to rise or shout out what I'm going to ask you for. You're just going to reflect, how would you have, or how did they act? Were they pioneers? Okay, so you're ready? Somewhere in this, I'm going to go to the Zoom story, but we'll leave that for now. Okay, so the first question, and as you do in this kind of queries, you always start with a very simple question. And I want you to be inspired by the mentality of the American election. Spell it out, okay? So don't say, yeah, I think, boom. So what comes to mind? What's the answer to this question? What is my name? Good. One correct answer. Now you're going to do a few other things. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Spell it out when you see this. Very good. Now the third question. What's this? You listen. Spell it out. First thing. Do you hear car, Jaguar? First thing you come to mind. Can you hear them? Good. Louder so they can hear you. First thing that comes to your mind.
Freedom.
Can you hear them? Next one. Okay. Thank you so much. A little applause to them, I think. It was good. Thank you. So let's then reflect on how did they answer, what did they answer? Do you have anyone who wants to comment on this? The first one. You remember the first picture? It was not the black one. It was the one with the car. What did they answer? Anyone heard? Yeah. Anyone? Thank you. Very observant. I understand why you sat down. Okay. Anyone else? Maybe not, because that was really to the point. First, it was the first one, Tesla. I think one said car, and there's Tesla. It is something that we now have on our minds, but no one really said my dream car, but it was a brand. Next one, car again, black, Jaguar perhaps. And then it become, as you said, function, mud, masculine, another kind of answer, right? And then we came to these powered wheelchairs, and there were negative answers. I don't want to really, go into that, but it were kind of negative answers. Someone said freedom, yeah, thank you. But this, and then now, next question. If you compare, not what they said, if you compare the pictures you see from Tesla and Jaguar, and you look at these products, what's your immediate response? We ask the pioneers, what's the difference? Obviously. Hard to match. Yeah. Is this a new product? No. But it's sold. This is the way it's sold in 2016. It's quite a difference from Tesla or any one of the others. And we're coming back to that. Why is this, and what can we do about it? Why is this connected with bad things? It's really a good thing. Okay, so thank you. Now you're going to be participating later on, but I'm going to continue. and try to get into this. Now everyone can think, what it comes to my mind now? How many's been out there this year? Raise everybody. Yes. How was that? Yeah, it's good. Words. That's what you need, right? Peace, relaxing, oxygen. Excellent. And today we have a snowy weather. And this summer you probably went to some beaches. Probably, hopefully. But right now I take that away from you. Something happened. You're not able to access that forest, that snow, or the beach due to an accident, fatigue, or you being old, or an illness. And that's exactly what happened to our founder, Michael. He's a technical engineer, and his Sambo she had MS, and one day she said, Michael, I cannot follow you out picking mushrooms today. My legs doesn't, carry me. And I don't know if you know MS, but it's a progressive illness, and she inevitably couldn't go out with him on hiking and so on. That's been their life. That's where they got their energy. So Michael, a very persistent, male engineer, thought, I'm going to do something about this. And he started to screen the net. He started to look for vehicles. He found the powered wheelchairs, but he couldn't see that they ever could take her out there, or in the snow, or in the sand. So what does an engineer do? He starts to invent something. Obvious problem. How's the solution? And he started to do things. And this is part of the technical innovation. And I'm not going to focus on that, but it took him like 3 or 4, 5 years to come to the conclusion. But they're quite simple. Now I'm going to show you a 4-wheel drive vehicle from beneath, with the 4 wheels here and the chassis here. Almost all 4-wheel drive vehicles has a fixed chassis with parallel wheels. Okay? But what do you do if you want to climb stairs or go in the forest? You have to put something ahead of the other. And you have to be flexible. So the first thing he did, cut the chassis in 2. So you got 2 arms holding the 4 wheels and a patented divider in the middle so that the wheels could go like this. That means you can go up stones or something, and you can always have the 4-wheel drive in contact with the ground, which is very, very important. The next thing he did, okay, so what do we do when we drive with a car up a sidewalk? Pioneers? Again, thank you. We drive a little bit aside. So we get 1 wheel like that. But if you want to go up the stairs, you can't go sideways. You got to get straight up. So what does he do? He puts the left wheels in front of the right wheel pair. So you can always go with the left, right. Now I'm doing robotics here. I can't dance. The next thing, there's no music. The next thing he did was, okay, so I want to go on a slope. I want to go that way over there that I had in my hotel room. It was kind of this. And what do? We do exactly that. We lean. So what did he do with the wheel pairs? Pioneers. What did he do with the wheel pair? Pioneers. He twisted them out. So they were leaning out. So now we have this one. Thank you. I've been dancing on stage. I'm going to tell my 3 lovely children and my wife. So what did he do with that? He continued to develop, because an engineer thought, okay, so now I manage the forest, but I want to go up those stairs. Continue. And he actually solved an algorithm that I cannot explain with any robotics, taking that zoom up a 90-degree stairs. And due to our cooperation with the science park, we were contacted by Toyota Motors Europe and their development department. And they said, hey, you guys, you saw that thing that we've been working on for a while? Would you like to produce the lab rat to prove that it works in reality? Okay, Michael and Carrie said, yes, we mortgaged our house, we sold our house, they were in debt to mothers and friends and everything. And Toyota comes and says, hey, you want 100,000 euros? Yeah. So they actually produced this lab rat. Now I'm going to show you a few technical specs, just to give you an idea how this was. This is the drawing of the divided chassis frame with the four wheels on, right? This is how the left wheel pair came in front of the right pair. I don't know if anyone works for Yamaha or Polaris, but it would be kind of a challenging thing to go into your development manager and say, hey, I would like to put the left wheels in front of the right wheels. I would like to lean them. I would cut the chassis in two. I don't know if that would happen. But this is what we did, or he did. And with the money from Toyota, they also developed this lab rat. I cannot show you too much of it because it's kind of secret, but that was in 2009. And they thought, yes, we have an agreement with Toyota. Everything is going to be good. But what happened? Someone helped me yesterday. It was something that happened with Toyota cars in 2000. Yeah. They have to call a lot of cars back because the steering or something wasn't working. What happens in a big company when something like that happens? To development projects, boom, freeze. We had this all-terrain or upstairs Zoom standing on a pallet, labeled to go to Toyota, so they should do the software. But then it was, boom, stop. Pioneers, what does a pioneer do now? Yeah, do it himself, go somewhere else. You never give up, right? So what did they do? They stripped this machine down to what was necessary. I don't know what it is, but this is me. You know, amazing. And we said, what am I going to do? Yeah, you're going to try our Zoom, and you're going to give us feedback, and you're going to pay for it, and you have to wait for it, and now you get it, it's not ready.
Sounds like Ericsson on their phone.
Not my quote. Thank you. Well, it was a way to get customers. This is actually crowdfunding. They paid 7,000 Swedish kronor for our first project so we could start producing. This is 200 components from all over the world. It's electric engines. Now I'm going technical. Brush-free hub engines in each wheel, 1,000 watts each with two parallel 48-volt batteries giving 210 Newton meter. I'm not a technician, I'm just saying that. And it works, it works. So what happened? We get the pioneers, we got the first customers, we got the first money, we raised the money, pitched the idea, you know, all that stuff, and got investors, and we start selling. And this is our client. Someone who wants to go out there. Anyone recognize this lady? Oh, she was being on TV. She had TV shows for children. Lovisa Söderberg, Bolibompa. Thomas Fogde bought one. Aron Andersson bought one. Anders Olsson, the swimmer, bought one. A lot of people recognize this as, this is me, I want to purchase this. So sales were starting to increase, right? Excellent. But this was us going around with a car and two Zooms on a trailer all over Sweden. You want to try this? Put it on Facebook. We're going to Gävle tomorrow. 5 people showed up in Gävle. I want to try it. It's an expensive way to sell, you know, products. But it worked, but it was hard work. So we realized we have to change. We have to do something else because they need to test drive. They haven't seen this. The next, you know, persons, they say, well, it looks good, but I have to try it in the forest. I want to see if it works. And I can tell you this, I've been driving with thousands of people, and when these people who have lost their freedom get it back, that's why I've been doing this, the tears and the smiles. They say, this is the first time in 10 years I can go out and pick the berries that are 10 meters from my house. Thank you, thank you. And it's been touching, it's been rewarding, and it's been lovely. But it was difficult because we didn't have the possibility to give them test drives. So what we do, never give up, we started something we called Zoom Camp, an adventure, and a service. Let's sell it to hotels and adventure companies who want to offer something new, off-road, in the terrain, all electric, silent, perfect. And it's registered as a bicycle, so you don't need a license to drive in the forest. And I sold them at a pack of 5. Rent this, have fun with it. And that gave us like 9 or 10 places in Sweden that they could go, Zoom camping. And we actually got nominated as the year of Innovation of the Year of Trip Awards, the Turistföreningen in Sweden that year. But what happened? Some of these had bachelor parties, and the Zoom wasn't made for bachelor parties. So quite soon they realized that this machine is made for people who should go, out in the forest picking mushrooms. And they broke. The machines broke down because they were doing jumps and everything. And so it was too costly for the Zoom camps, and they realized, this is not a good business idea for us, so we have to close down. What do we do? Now you see, now the money is running out. It was in August in 2013. No, it was July 13. And I was thinking, we need more money. And how am I going to pitch this when sales is kind of, ooh. A guy calls from the United States. We sent one Zoom to the United States. And he says, you know what? I called the guy, he's called Luker. He started this charity for wounded veterans here in the United States. And he was going to Texas, actually 3 miles from where I live, so I asked him if he could test drive the Zoom, and he did. And he went around for 5 minutes, and then he came back and said, the guys would love this. So Peter said, he wants 5 Zoom for their camp in August. Can you arrange that? I was in Turkey with my family. Production in Sweden, we have the production manufacturer in northern Sweden. It was closed down. It was July. It's a vacation. So what do? I go back to the Zoom camps and say, I want to buy back that machine I sold you because it wasn't working for you, right? And then I mended it. And then I put it on a pallet and I sent it away to the US. And we took our last money to go over there, and I spent 5 days with the wounded veterans in the United States, and it was a blast. They were going with the Zoom like crazy because it was the first electric vehicle that could go everywhere, and it was a little small, it was neat, and it was fast. This one go 12 miles per hour. All the others go 6 because they follow the regulations, the standards, right? And it's a very interesting thing now, because we're talking about standards earlier. In the United States, there's also tax-paid foundations for disabled. For veterans, it's the Veterans Association. They also have standards when they're going to purchase something. So they purchase the things that you saw. But this charity, they said, well, if the VA doesn't give them the best things, we collect money. That's the way they do it in the United States. We donate, and then they can choose. So the good thing, the veteran tried all the different competitors and then said, I want that one. And in 1 year, we had 20% market share of all those electric wheelchairs that they could choose between. In 2 years, we have sold 250 Zooms in the United States to different charities because this was going boom on the internet. We went from having 2,500 likes on Facebook to 15,000. And we were never more than 5 people employed. And we had a supply chain of 6 months from Shanghai, and when production in Byske, in northern Sweden, delivered them to Houston and shipped them over with a truck to California. It's a wrong way around the world, right? But we have not focused on that. We've been focusing on sales. We got attentions from larger companies because they said, hey, we want to be part of what you're doing. And really, when I was here yesterday, Humanium, for me, that was, oh, God. Imagine if I could have that Alex in Panama, if I had one wish, Alex guys who made wheelchairs in Panama, if they could produce the Zoom and put a little plate of Humanium under saying, proudly produced by you from Alex. Oh. Even larger companies wanted to be connected with what we did. And this is Ford with their commercial in Fox, a TV channel in the United States. And I like the picture, especially because our competitors are way behind. Okay, so that's more or less the student story. I would like to say something about you pioneers, because what happened, you became a part of my lecture. You helped me to make this interesting, and I thank you for it. The ambassadors, the first 35 pioneers that we had, they become our ambassadors. And I would say that almost every second of our customers have been our ambassadors. So this is Ivana in the United States. I never met her, but she's given her Zoom story at hashtag Zoom Life. Driving on the beach, playing with her dogs again. And this is Craig, somewhere in Nebraska, I don't know. And he can go out hunting again, which was his thing. And for me, this is more important than anything else. They have the same challenges as the first guys who bought our Zoom, the pioneers. And I want this lecture to summarize, because before I do my reflections, with a short movie of one of the 35 pioneers. He was not able to be here today, unfortunately, but his name is Kalle, and I'm going to show you a little film about Kalle. Oh, and then I would like to have some sound. Excuse me, I do like this. Darius. Where did he go? See if it works. We tried this before. Oh yeah, good.
My name is Kalle Eriksson, living in Stockholm, Sweden. It has become as natural to put on your shoes when you go out, really. The Zoom has given me so much back. When I first got the Zoom, I didn't realize how much use I would have for it. There's no price on freedom, really. It's the Zoom can take me wherever I want, whenever I want. Yeah, freedom in large quantities.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's always almost difficult to tell the story because you're getting kind of moved by myself. But
yeah, so do I. My God, it's so for me, standing here on my legs, being able to walk, it's very difficult to understand the limitations when you're not able to do that anymore. So just a testimonial like this, it says it all, don't you think? So I have to say, I don't even know what to ask you. Any one of you? Would you like to reflect? Yes.
Is there a microphone?
Yes, over here. Wait, I'll get you one.
Okay, so you mentioned crowdfunding. So you basically found your crowd, and you funded your first or second batch of ramped up sales through them, and then you also created a community of Zoomers, and this is something we see now in the digital world. Well, it happens with different services on apps and stuff, and you actually did it with a physical product. I'd like to hear you talk a little bit about how you see large firms could use this methodology in what they are doing, if possible.
Okay, I'll try. Yes, it was crowdfunding before it was invented, and it was in the analog world. But perhaps, I think it was mentioned yesterday, larger companies are they don't want to hurt their brand, so they don't want to, sell a product that is not ready. That's kind of scary. That's what I heard yesterday. And I'm thinking like this, well, it's not dangerous to sell something to someone who knows that it's not ready and being a pioneer. You will have early adopters among yours who says that I want to be part of your development. I want to be part of your brand. And let them try it. Be absolutely, clear. You have to pay for it. I like that idea, because then if you pay for it, you really test it and give your feedback. If you just give it to you, it doesn't matter. So I would say that don't be afraid of testing in small scale, with being very, very clear with that little group that you are pioneers, you're doing this with us. If you're going to pay for it, but then thank them in some way. They need recognition. That's I think, do it. Yes.
Do you have any plans for your original design that you made with Toyota?
It's standing dusty in our warehouse. It's just really sad. And the thing is, right now, maybe I should mention that we have new investors in the company. A lot of them, financial muscles and serious entrepreneurs, and they have a new chairman and a new CEO. So the company is now going into the third chapter. It's kind of cost cut, production, re-engineering of the product, technical development to reduce cost. And that's not my kind of business. So I'm leaving the company at New Year, helping them now to get organized with the new CEO and so on. But I don't know what's going to happen next. Of course, if anyone knows any software company who would like to design the software to the upstairs, Zoom upstairs, feel free to come to me. Or if anyone wants to invest, I'll contact our CEO.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your questions. So, no, but I also find it interesting, your insight about when it's time to leave, because handing over is also quite tough. If you really fall in love with your product and you really want to hang on to it. So it's also, of course, an insight to know that now it's the time for me to hand over. If this is going to be the success that I feel it's going to be, then somebody else needs to take the next step. I'm not the right person for it. So,
this needs an industrial investor who can do the volume and the distribution in large scale, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm not that kind of person. We've been in acquisition situations, and on top of there was management had to be locked in for 3 years, and I just said, sorry, you can't lock me in. That's not, a free mind is not working like that. So that deal didn't went through.
Yeah.
So I am a learning person, and I want to do things that I feel is good and that I like to do. And right now I feel like I've done this. I want to do something new.
But do you feel that Zoom Mobility is in good hands now?
I hope so. I hope so. The future will tell.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for such a wonderful presentation. What skills, huh? Involving us all. Amazing.
Thank you so much.